Shakur is extremely talented and could be the face of boxing as far as being that good and being that dominant, even though no matter how good you are. But this is one of the rare fights where you can get beat. And I don't ever want to hear any of you tank nut huggers that he fights one Uber driver after another. If Shakur Stevenson loses this fight, I don't ever want to hear any of you saying, oh, what about Shakur now? Tank this, tank that. Tank fights the guy that delivers my pizza. He fights the guys in the back that are doing the production. He fights the truck driver. I don't want to hear, because he would never have gone near Teofimo Lopez in his life. This fight is that damn good. Shakur is supposed to win, but Teofimo is the dangerous X factor that could be maybe the only guy who on his night is so damn good, he may be able to beat Shakur.
Now, when you look at the odds, I had to look right now. Right now, Shakur Stevenson about minus 350.
Wow.
You can get plus 250 on Teofimo Lopez right now.
I'm just saying he was also about a 4-1 underdog against Lomachenko, too.
Right, exactly. But when you look at it, Chris, what we're seeing in boxing is we're used to these big, gigantic swings. We're used to one guy being a huge favorite. Lamont Rose Jr., controversial draw, we could say. He was an over a 2-1 favorite in that fight, and then ends up with a very close fight, ended up being a draw. But this idea, Chris, that boxing odds makers have to start doing the work again, because these odds right now are insane.
These are really tough guys to handicap, because, again, Teofimo, I'm sure the handicap is based on...
You got to be a psychiatrist, too, with Teofimo.
Well, yeah.
Which version are you going to get?
That was going to be my point. I'm sure that's based on his inconsistencies, because he can be so damn good, but he also can be pretty damn bad. When it came to Bosis, he was not good. It was not a good night.
Oh, like a street fight.
Yeah, it was shot.
What's good, Just Do family? It's your boy KB, back to get boxing is Just Do. And we gonna get right into the video, man. Y'all heard it. Shots fired from the one, the only, Paulie, the Magic Man Malignaggi, man. He made some bold claims, some bold statements the other day on the show with Boxing Scene, with Chris Algieri. He went on to say, Shakur Stevenson, man, could very well be the next face of boxing. And I know fans don't like to hear that, because they look at Gervonta Tank Davis as the face of boxing, but he himself has stated in recent, interviews that he don't want it. He don't want the limelight. He ain't the face of boxing no more. He's just a guy that boxes. So, boxing is always looking for somebody to come in, step in, fill them shoes. And Paulie made some bold claims by saying, Shakur Stevenson could be the best, the next face of boxing possibly. He also said that this fight against Teofimo Lopez that we all know is coming up January 31st. They just kicked off the first press conference. This is going to be a good fight, man. January 31st, Shakur Stevenson is looking to be a 4-division champion. And I think he can do it. And this is the right name to do it against. But he went in on the Tank Davis fans, man. He said he don't want to hear nothing else from the Tank Davis nut huggers. Said Tank fights Uber drivers, truck driver after truck driver. He fights the guy that's doing the production, the pizza delivery guy. He just went in, and I know Tank fans don't like to hear that, but he's been very critical of Tank Davis and, the lack of opposition. Should I say that, he's never gotten in there with the contemporaries, never unified and different things like that. But him being this quote-unquote face of boxing and being able to make any fight he wants, he feels as though he fell extremely short in terms of challenging himself. So he has some very eyebrow-raising things to say about Tank. But, we've heard these things before, man. Tank only fight Uber drivers, cab drivers, etc., etc. Listen, at the end of the day, I understand the conversation, because, we expect more, especially if you're the face of boxing, especially if you looked at as one of the absolute best fighters in the sport. People want to see you in there against other guys that's deemed in or around your level. And that's where all the criticism comes from. But, Paulie made some very interesting comments, man. Shakur Stevenson has been on record for saying, if he wins this fight against T.O., he should be looked at as, a top 5 pound-for-pound guy. And I can understand why he's saying that. At 28 years old, 4-division champion, former unified, holding a Ring Magazine belt, lineal champion, all those different things. It's a lot of accolades at 28 years old with 25 fights. So I can understand why he would say he should be somewhere around the top 5 pound for pound. Some people would argue, but I understand his point. He's very accomplished at a young age, and he just continues to raise the bar. And I think, in January 31st, man, this is going to be his opportunity to shine. This is the kind of name recognition fighter that he needs in the ring with him. This is the type of talent that I think he needs to push him so we can see the best version of Shakur. So that's what I'm banking on, seeing the best version of Shakur and seeing the best version of Teofimo. And like Paulie mentioned in the video, this is a fight that Shakur could lose. This is a 50-50 fight. Teofimo is going to be the best fighter that he's ever shared the ring with, the most athletic fighter he's shared the ring with. He got his work cut out for him, and so do Teo. But it's going to all be about the night, who's better prepared and who's going to execute, who's going to make the fewer mistakes. On paper, that appears to be Shakur, but nothing is a given in boxing. You get what I'm saying? You got to go out there and fight the fights, and that's what Shakur has to do. And I can't wait to January 31st, man. I think a new king will be crowned. Love it or hate it, this will be a great fight. And I think with, accomplishments like the one Shakur is chasing, being a 4-division champion, man, this continues to separate him from the rest of his contemporaries, whether you like it or not. He's doing it the right way. This is the way you challenge yourself. You move up a weight class, no tune-up, and go after the number one guy there. And that's what he's doing against Teofimo Lopez. But that's my thoughts. Get in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Do y'all agree with Paulie about Tank Davis? Do y'all agree with his comments about Shakur Stevenson? And as always, let me know if I gave boxing its just due, because that's what I do over here, Just Do Boxing. Till the next one, I'm out. Peace.